And at last we are back to Middle Earth. So 2 months ago when we played, we just defeated Radgul and his inner guard, his immediate guard, a lot of black Uruks. And he had the last remaining hobbit in front of him. Ended up stabbing him in the chest and throwing him. Meanwhile, you guys defeated all of them, including Radgul himself. I've removed all the other tokens. Except I've left Radgul's corpse there. Now, you guys hadn't done it. We just stopped right there. We didn't do anything as far as any first aid or, healing of that nature.
Yes. Except I think the poor hobbit tried to heal Hogar, and that failed.
Yeah, he'd been trying to do that for a few rounds anyway, and it wasn't working out for him. He doesn't even actually have any points in. I think he had to get like a Gandalf or something like that to do anything, but he still tried. And then all right. And then as far as injuries go, or wounds go, sorry. The hobbit that was stabbed is wounded, and I believe that's all amongst you. The rest of you just have your endurance depleted. Well, or severely wounded, have your endurance depleted, but not severely wounded.
No actual wounds.
Yeah, no wounds. I didn't mean to use that word. It's wrong, but... all right. All right, then.
Except I think from the hobbit at the top, maybe.
Yeah, he does. He's the only one.
I would immediately try to help him out. Kneel down beside him, pull out my healing kit.
All right. That's just a straight up healing.
One useful item.
Sorry, what do you say?
I have a useful item, healer's kit, gives me a +1.
Oh, it does give you a +1.
And how much hit do I have?
Well, that's
losing him.
And the other hobbit who's up there. So you got to help him.
Trying. He's not responding to the herbs.
Gandalf's looking around.
I yell across the hall, Wanderer!
And then you see Wanderer down.
Where are you?
Gandalf.
Which one is it Hamson or Folko?
Falco's the one who's injured. Hamson is the one who's with you. Does the names not show up when you hover over them? Did I not change that?
I just couldn't see the icon. I was too scrolled out to
okay.
see which one with the icon.
Okay. Gandalf shouts, "Is everyone okay?" And then he turns and sees Wanderer. and kneels down. Oh no. And he's looking about. How is Herobrand?
Bane would have looked over to Herobrand, and after I believe he had taken Radgul's head, after he had been slain, and
Yes.
goes, he's all right, but unconscious, and I'll kind of try to, I don't know, splash some water or ale in his face. Maybe wake him up, at least. He might take some time. Might take a bit.
And Gandalf is cradling Wanderer's head. And begins to whisper words you can't understand. And he's quite quiet with it. Oh, what's going on? That should not show him as miserable. That was a weird thing going on with the coding. Wow. Strange. And you'd swear that there's a faint golden light that envelops Wanderer's body. But then you look again, you think, no, maybe you imagined it. And Wanderer, you regain your consciousness and you have 7 endurance now.
She had the weirdest of dreams.
There. Come back to the light, Wanderer. And then he goes over to Herobrand. Move, Luskalin. He doesn't say that. Move!
He does say back to the shadow.
And,
Flame of voodoo.
wrong spell. Let's see, what would be 30. And damn it, it's done that again. Oh, that's right. It should be weary. And you see him touch Herobrand on the forehead, and he's whispering again. And then Herobrand comes back consciousness, and you've gained 6 endurance. I've already marked it on your character sheet.
Thanks.
And then Bane will grumble angrily, orc filth in a dwarven tomb. And he'll start marching towards trying to find dwarven artifacts up at the throne.
How is everyone else?
We need aid over here.
Yeah. Bane will get over there and go, oh, yes, over here.
I'm gonna stumble up to my feet and slowly follow behind them.
Same with me, kind of limp a little. And take a few sighs and start making my way toward the head of the hall.
Yeah, seeing Gandalf go to the others, Bane's gonna momentarily search over here.
All right.
Dwarven relics.
Is the little one still with us?
Hampson, can you help him? And I'm going to make a roll for Gandalf. This is probably going to show 137 dice, but...
Skills are not enough, Gandalf, and my kit is low.
Wow, normal roll. Only a single success, though. That's all right. Let's lessen the wound for his healing. No, wrong token. He will recover. It'll take some time. And you, I'll skip to you, Bane. You do indeed find piles of gold there. And where else are you searching? Where all are you searching just amongst those piles?
Just to start, I don't know how much time I have, but I'm in terms of just these piles, and then maybe I peek behind the door. But I mean, I just see piles of treasure.
I'm gonna
here
look at
now.
the throne a little bit.
Okay. Now, this was just the map that I got, but this whole place is not as nice and pristine as it looks. The orcs have really defiled it.
Right. This general area, I'll say.
Yeah. You find, let's see.
Yeah, I mean, gold is nice, and Bane does appreciate that. But Bane's like, dwarven relics need to not be in this place anymore.
Of course.
They need to leave.
Let's see. All right. Jacob, roll a single success die.
Look,
Or you can just roll a six-sider from the dice roller at the bottom, but
3.
there are 12 treasure points worth of gold. And then roll a feat. Hold on.
Oh,
And roll it one more time.
two.
You find no dwarven artifacts.
Oh.
All right. Around the treasure, you don't find. Around the throne. Sorry, you don't find anything significant, Hairbrand.
Okay.
Other than being very defiled, and some of the coins, some of the treasure was there as well. It's just part of the total of what Bane found, but from what you guys had learned before, from you got into Mount Graham, they've been using dwarven treasure to pay for slave traders.
Okay.
To bring servants. The door there, Bane, some of the treasure that you found is inside that as well. I just included all of it in the roll there for you.
And does it just go to like a dead end room, or?
That's just a storage room underneath the stairs area up there. It doesn't go beyond that. Sorry. And you guys hear from down below Well, you probably can't hear it very well up there, but... You heard a small, tiny voice, and then you hear it much louder, Laskalin. Hogar's down!
Bane growls and starts moving that way quickly.
I like scoop Hampton or Folko up into my arms.
All right.
Start like rushing towards the exit.
Hamson follows you, stays near him. Put Folko's token down. Hey, running. Are you leaving the coin?
Well, I don't know if I can carry 12 treasure points by myself, so everyone might need to be up to split that up.
1 point is 1 point of load.
Yeah, so...
And with you only having 2 endurance right now, you can... you can't carry a whole lot. You're pretty weakened.
No. We'd have to
Maybe
probably...
the-
But,
Maybe the hobbits can carry 1 each or something.
yeah,
Take back to the Shire.
maybe. Yeah, spread it amongst... I mean, if we're all up and we can swing it, maybe, but we probably should make sure everyone's up first.
Hamson has taken
Armando.
1 point. And
He
Tolman will
sees
take
y'all.
1.
Sees the hobbits grabbing treasure. Said, "We need to get out of here. Let's go." Carrying Folko.
They put a treasure point on him.
There's no time for that.
Shove it in his pockets. Jingles as you move.
Gandalf.
Uh,
Hogar. He's not wounded. I'm already weary. But we
Bane
cannot
will
wait.
not. He's pretty sturdy. I kind of tap his armor.
We have to get him on his feet. We have to go. And he starts whispering. Passes his hands over his chest. Come back to the light, Hogar. And Hogar opens his eyes. And you'd think he'd be weary, you know, he'd been down, been unconscious, but instantly he jumps. Where are they at? Kill him. Easy, dwarf, Master Dwarf. The enemy is down.
He's slain, friend. Don't worry. Have a piece of him with us. You know?
You chewing on him? You
No, I still have his head. I mean, we could leave his head on his throne, but I have his head. Proof.
But Uncle Mondil is right. We need to go.
Bane nods, and he kind of looks around. The way back might be a bit dangerous. Maybe these other doors lead somewhere, or to an alternative path. And Bane will just kind of quickly check these.
Yeah,
And-
now you remember, I don't know if you remember this as a player, goes back to several sessions when you did some research.
Yeah.
And although you don't have a detailed map that you ever encountered, but you have some notes from I completely forget his name now. The guy that you encountered, or not the guy, but the corpse that you encountered once you first got in the tunnels,
Yes. Where's my...
has some scribbled, a very, very rough map. But you did know that there's an alternative path back, but you're not quite sure exact. You know it goes back towards where you can get into the secret tunnels, but you're not quite sure exactly the nature of it, because only that it exists.
Yeah.
But you do feel like you could lead into it going west from here. And
Do I have a general sense of what's behind these doors? I mean, I guess I can open them briefly, but I'm saying in terms of the map, or not really.
Not too much. You feel more like it's passageway rather than in like additional rooms. But you could be wrong. There could be a ready room. And I'm trying to get. There it is.
Oh, his name was Hargan.
Ah. All right. And see, you're up there. You know, I guess in general, though, from dwarven strongholds, and that likely one of these doors goes to some rooms attached to where a king or whoever the, head of the dwelling is, or they might have, some private chambers or a chief council, that sort of stuff. But anything leading directly to the throne room would have places for guards, so it could be defensible.
Gotcha.
And it's at that point, I hope I trigger the right thing. Coming from down south, you hear a war horn from the orcs. And you know that the area that you're in before you went into this throne room was like an antechamber. You knew if you went further south from there, you would exit the main entrance into Mount Graham, which you suspect is through that giant skull on the outside.
Well, it seems like some have returned home. Are these doors barrable? Or is this just an open archway?
Could those be our forces? They're causing a diversion, and we can escape out the main
Sound like-
entrance.
Was that an orc horn?
That was an orc horn. This is Gandalf.
Yes.
Our presence has alerted the enemy. And they're likely to be in great numbers. To answer your question, Bane, there are doors. They're just off the map.
Mm-hmm.
Gandalf turns to you, Bane. If you know another way out of here, now is the time.
Bane will nod. And Bane will quickly say, "Bar the doors, and I shall find it." And then I shall follow my map wherever it may lead.
Hogar, despite being weary, not weary, but, well, actually, he is weary.
do we have?
leads the way towards the south to try to bar the doors. There's orc weapons that can be
Yes.
used.
Spears and
Spears
polearm.
and scimitars, and Radgul had a very big spear.
Can we wedge it in there, sort of?
Yeah. Do you have... Let's make a craft roll.
That
Good
would
news is
be-
Hogarth's pretty good at that.
Perhaps Hogarth, not me.
Yeah. And he's... Get me weapons. Anything we can use. Oh, he's favored as well.
Dwarven ingenuity.
So I gather up some spears and
Oh, come on. Here we go. 2 rolls in a row. One of them wasn't even me. These aren't strong enough.
these braziers. Can we move them?
Alright, let's try it. And,
Should I even try
yeah,
with the craft roll? Well, I could try, I guess.
Unless you, because you can help Hogar, right? And that gives him an extra die.
yeah, well, the situation... Yeah.
I got.
If he has the better roll, unless you want to.
I have a pretty good craft, and I think our fellowship focuses. We can use hope together.
Yeah. Try to keep his role-playing, guys, instead of stat comparison.
Alright.
Please.
Yeah. I'm not a crafty person.
Well, but your idea with the braziers.
I can gather supplies if you can figure out how to make it work.
Same for me. I can gather, but can't craft anything.
Just enough. Alright. The door is barred, but I'm not sure for how long.
Can we, with the braziers, can we move them at all?
They're a bit warm.
Is there a way we can? I want to spread coals in front of the door if they get through.
Of course.
Give them a hot foot.
Ah! Hogar likes that idea.
Spill the coals and in a.
Let's use the orc scimitars. We can...
Yeah.
If we slide them through the handle holds on the side, we can carry it.
Yeah.
Alright, heave, let's dump it.
Yeah.
So several braziers have been dumped in front of it. Bane, how goes it?
So Bane would look at his map, and I feel like it would. I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like maybe some secret passages would be in those special chambers you were talking about, but
Let's see. Let's have you make a scan roll with a +1.
is this a circumstance I can use my lamp?
Oh, yes, it is indeed. So +2.
Wonderful. All right.
I forgot you had that.
Yeah, it's one of the scan items I've been hoping to use, but unfortunately I cannot use it quite a bit because it's a lantern.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, it's getting used now.
Oh yeah. So roll. Well, a success is a success, so I shall take it.
Wow. I do hope the dice rolls change over the course of this session, or this is going to be a very negative battle. You do find, so out of the door on the west, I'm just using north, south, east, and west just for, as it relates to this, but it's actually more at an angle. But you do find some council chambers, and from them you do find it looked to be a very sturdy stone bookcase, but the ingenuity of the dwarves, you found that it moved. And it took considerable effort on your part, but although you are quite weakened right now, but you were able to move it. Enough to know that it did move, and you could, with your lantern, you could faintly see behind.
Ben shall yell, shall bellow, over here! And then also scan the room briefly, since I guess everyone has to run to him.
Yeah, we've got a ways to
full
go.
orc filth, mainly.
It is. You can see that orcs were using it as a place to stay. There's filth, excrement. You don't really want to linger in here because it's just foul. And it also kind of depresses you a bit, because this is...
Bane will spit orc filth in a dwarf hall, and he kind of looks around, like, hoping he could take many dwarven artifacts, but unfortunately thinks they're probably despoiled in here.
Yes. Just checking one thing. All right. And you're beginning to, as you guys, all of you start running towards the middle of this throne room and then off to the west, through the thick doors down below, you begin to hear the sounds of a large orc host approaching the door. And you hear a pound on that door just as you go through the western door into the chambers where Bane summoned you all. And Hogarth looks to you. I hope you have good news.
Bane will go, aye, and he kind of pushes the bookcase a little bit, as if to reveal a dwarven secret.
Yes, and Hogarth immediately runs up and gives you a hand in moving it open.
Might buy us some time if we close it behind us, I'll say as everyone rushes through.
Yeah, Hogarth waits there with you as motion for everyone to get through. And once they're through, Hogarth notices that the door was left open into the throne room, and he runs to close it.
Come now. Bane,
And then he,
slowly.
sorry,
No,
I was reading something.
No.
And then he runs back. All right, let's close this. And you feel like it's confidently shut. You can only hope it's as invisible as it was before, but you do notice once you're inside, there's a layer of dust. The orcs never found this. And what you see is it's not an overly wide passage. It's a little bit wider than, one person, but you couldn't really go two people side by side down it. And shortly after it, you see some stairs that go down. You came up some stairs, if you recall, to get to the throne room area.
So I'll take out my map again and I'll try to guide us. I mean, I guess it's a one-way passage as far as I'm aware, but where it might pop us out.
Lead us on, Master Dwarf.
Yeah, Bane has to squeeze past me. Excuse me. From the back to the front. Alrighty.
All right. Let's do. Let's see. do it. Let's see. I think the skill that's most useful here. It's probably an explorer role.
Okay,
Yes.
that I can work with. Wish I had hoped to spend, but that's another matter.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You all are very low in hope. Or have
Oh, I have
none.
0.
Yeah. No one else is doing very well either, including Gandalf.
Well, I guess I'll roll
It's
flat.
been long since we've had hope.
Yes. Yes, I shall
Only
roll
a
flat.
fool's hope.
Pray to the dice gods. All right.
Oh, wow, we are barely just scraping through this, guys. All right. Best you guessed from any notes, any scribblings from the map, and knowledge of dwarven strongholds. You suspect that this doesn't go on long before it goes back into unsecret sort of areas, but you may very well find possibly a room along the way, or rooms. But you feel like where this will come out. Let me get back to another page on this. You suspect it's going to come out close to the industrial quarter.
Right. Say we have a ways to go yet, but perhaps we shall find more on the way out. I look at Hogar. We are going out into the crafting section, the industrial.
Well, you would know best.
Gandalf says, I hope for our sakes that spirit of evil has not returned.
Gandalf, you have no memory of this place, do you?
No. Since my arrival into these lands, shadow has held this place.
Well, then we must trust to the memory of the dwarves.
It is long.
Lead on, Bane. Let us suffer the fate that we find.
And I shall lead on to the best of my ability.
All right. The passageway winds down. You've gone down a few flights of stairs. And then you come to a door, and you can tell by its construction that it's not... that you're on the back side of a secret door, so... where it comes out is a place that is likely hidden. Or at least the door is hidden, sorry. And you can't hear anything on the other side of it.
Try to, as much as a giant stone door can, slowly open it and quietly look through.
Hogar is right there with you. He's been up there with you the whole time. Enthusiasm for seeing a stronghold of your people, but also to protect you. And it opens up to an area that you are familiar with, and that you have passed through it. And you come out. So when you left this goes back quite a few sessions, but there was like a mining junction of mining rail carts, tracks, and there were 3 exits off of that. And to the right of that is what led to the industrial corridor. It's where the forge was, the secret forge, and it's where the prison was.
Forge was to the south. The prison was to the east. The north, I think, is.
Yeah, that's off of the industrial corridor because it had some passageways. But I meant off the mining junction itself.
Oh, okay.
There was three ways off of it. Yeah, you had even more junctions that way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Spider Way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, where you're at is on your approach to the industrial corridor from the mining junction. There were other passageways that led off of that were minor. And although you haven't actually walked on the corridor that you've come out on, you can see where you did pass through. Just a short ways down the corridor that you've come out on.
Okay.
So if you were to head back that way, you get back to the mining junction, and soon, eventually, you will get to the secret tunnels that you come from.
All right. Then that way we must go.
All right.
And I see no orcs currently, or no enemies, I should say.
Make, you don't see anything, but make a scan roll, I think would be a right one for this.
Yes. And we're not going to use the lantern here because I feel like that'd be a bad idea. All right, so regular scan. Success.
You figure they must still be trying to break into the throne room, or already have and have discovered that their chieftain is dead. You don't feel like they're on your tail at all. And that secret corridor that you found has bought you some time.
Alright. Then away we must go. To
right.
the way we came in.
And hold on. You all exit the secret tunnel and start heading down the corridor that leads you to the mining junction. And from behind you, you feel a cold, almost like a chilling sort of cold come from behind you. And
Shadow pursues us.
you recognize it, those of you who went into the industrial corridor first. the spirit, the evil spirit, approaches, and you can almost feel like fingers just grasping at your clothes and armor, and a chilling touch as it does. And all of you need to make a shadow test for dread. And that is
Valor, isn't it?
It's Valor.
sure. It is Valor, yes.
Jeez.
Well, there's a great success, finally. Success, cool.
Make sure I get no bonuses to this. Nope. It's just gonna be the roll.
Failure for last one.
Oh my goodness.
God for that Gandalf.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm
Been
really
seen this spirit before. It's an intruder into the dwarven hole. Be gone with you. It actually angers him.
I'm sure it does. So I'm just getting through all of the others. They're not doing so great. Oh my god. Hogar.
Oh no. Ogre's like, not this again.
Let's see. Hobbits.
Feel slightly bad for you, Andy. You now have 3 more hobbits to roll for.
Yeah, I know, but any sort of combat is not going to involve 2 of them at least. One's not very strong, and the other is injured, and so there's only Hamson. Why does it keep? Man, this coding. Yeah, I won't be doing this too much. Focal's actually pretty tough at it. Set your roll an Eye of Sauron. And I believe I have just one more to roll for. Oh no, and I got Gandalf, but where's the other one at? Tolman. No such luck. Gandalf's gonna be fine. Alright. Well, none of you guys failed, players. Wait. Saul, you haven't rolled.
What is this new sorcery I sense?
Saul? Did she step away that I missed?
I mean, you wrote AFK a while ago, but I thought she was back.
It did say back shortly after that.
Roll for.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oh, there she is. She's got a Valor of 3. She should do well, even with me rolling.
However, she is weary.
Maybe not.
Well, okay. And Gandalf shouts, "Run! Run!" And so what do you guys do?
Run. If he suggests run,
All right. Now, Bane, you know that you haven't got... You've just got the junction up ahead, then turn left. And a little ways down that corridor, it takes you to the secret tunnels that you first came into. And you know that no orc had found that.
Alright, well, I should go run in that direction, because every other option is a quite literal dead end. I doubt the spider way is a better way, so yes, back the way we came.
Probably not, especially in the condition that all of you are in. Let's go with... Let's have athletic rolls. Just want to see how fast you guys are at moving.
athletics.
Oh, question. My belt.
Oh, yes. You have a +2. Has it... It may roll it automatically. Can't remember if it... I mean, it may give it to you automatically. I don't know if it does or not. See how
I can
many
roll
dice
flat.
come out. Yeah, just roll
I can
flat
roll
and see how
flat.
many dice comes out, and then if not, we can roll 2 more dice.
No, I think it's just because that's my normal roll.
Alright, well,
So-
you can roll 2 more.
Alrighty. Another 2d6 would be great success because I got another 6.
Oh, there, I can see it on there. Cool.
Hmm?
I said I couldn't see it on there at first, and I said,
Oh yeah, I got sandwiched between Narniel and Lascaux rolls.
yeah. Little hobbit feet, fail.
One of them's being carried, right?
Yeah, I'm not rolling for him. Oh my god, Tolman has no athletics. He has to get a Gandalf. And he did not.
Decent roll though.
Yeah. Agamando, we don't have a roll for you.
Can anyone else carry the little ones? I'm a bit
Okay,
weak.
Bane with his great might be able to scoop one up.
Yeah.
But I'm carrying
Yeah,
a wounded hobbit too.
yeah, I'm a bit weak.
Narniel got great success too. Between those, the great successes, I'm going to say you're able to pull the hobbits along. They stumbled along the way. And it was more like grabbing them up by their collar and like, up you go.
Yeah.
And you managed to get to the mining junction. So you have come from... Sorry, that's not all of your tokens. But you have come from this way. And you know that this way goes down to the secret tunnel.
This way we go.
And getting down to here, you are no longer feeling the chilling touch of the shadow after you. Perhaps it is contained down in that area, it cannot come here, or you've just outrun it. Whatever the case, you're not questioning it. And from here, you can get to the secret tunnels pretty easily. It's not far, it's only a few hundred meters down that passageway.
And let us be off
And
over the troll corpses.
yeah, yes, and some orc corpses as well. And you manage to get into the secret tunnels, and you feel like from there you're fairly safe.
All right. We should probably not rest here, though. Should probably
Let
go.
us make haste to leave this tomb.
You mean these hallowed halls? Bane will say.
No. It may have been in the past, but not now. Perhaps in the future, Master Dwarf.
Gandalf is.
But that is for another day.
If our luck holds out, our horses will be waiting us, and we'll carry our weary selves to safety.
Yes.
Let us hope that
I
the
am
orc
trust-
host that was around on our approach is either in the entry halls or they are off towards the battlefield.
Indeed. But we did not leave a trail. The traps are still yet sprung.
Ah, yes.
Plus, I trust Hogar's ability to hide our party companions outside.
Well, I wouldn't be a good horse minder if I wasn't. Lead on, Bane.
To the ponies and horses we go.
And despite what you've been through, and the fact that you're still in Mount Graham, although you feel much more of a sense of protection being in these tunnels. You don't feel like the danger is as strong. And you come to the exit. Carefully you peer out to make sure that it is safe. And it is. But are you in front, Bane?
Yes.
All right.
With my 2 or 3 endurance, yes. Doesn't matter. We're good.
3 endurance. I thought you only had a 2.
No, I might have 2. Yeah, I have 2. I thought I had
Oh,
3.
right.
Nope, 2.
All right. Can you make a scan roll for us, please? And add a +1 because Hogar is there with you, and that's basically looking to see if there's any. Oh dear.
Nope.
The hunt has already
Don't
been
see it.
triggered against you guys.
I could be wrong. Once the hunt's triggered, does it reset?
uh,
I
not for a while. I don't remember exactly when, but you're still in the heat of things. I wouldn't think it would be reset yet.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that is until a fellowship phase. I could be wrong, but right now it's not relevant. I'll look at it gradually as we go here. It's when an adventuring phase ends.
Wow.
So it can't get worse, but it's indeed until a fellowship phase happens. All right. You can't see if there's anything out here, and even with Hogar's help, looks good.
Slightly probably prudent. Daytime or nighttime?
So as we talked about before we started this session, I feel like it was early afternoon when you guys went in, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
And wandering around inside there, you reckon it's probably nighttime. As you step out, what you notice initially is that you don't see any stars. And looking up, you see the faint ripplings of lightning within clouds. Complete cloud cover. And the wind is picked up a bit. Not a lot. It's not a strong wind, but it's... And you feel the storm is coming. But all of you have succeeded on your quest, albeit with severe strife and damage to you all. But you have rescued these 3 hobbits from the belly of the beast and defeated Radgul. And all of you can give yourselves 1 hope point. But I do need to do it for... How the hell has Lascalin not lost any hope? Could have sworn I spent hope on something strange. I know they spent a lot of hope just so they can actually hit. Wander, are you back with us? I guess
Just
not.
a lot of messages.
Oh, on that. Yes. So let me do the hobbits.
It says how weary, how weary.
Actually, I'm only going to give it to... Yes, all right. Okay. And you do find your horses where they were left. They seem very delighted to see you. And Hogar runs up to them. There you are. And since he's tended them quite often, they know him really, really well. Let's go back out to the area door map. Sometimes my mouse just does not want to work. Oh, now it does. Okay. All right. As you're getting the horses ready, you notice Gandalf is just looking up at the sky. Not just staring at it. He just keeps looking up at it and looking around. Then he goes and gets his horse from Hogar as Hogar leads it to him. Gandalf comes over to you, Bane. Shortly before we arrived here, there was a farmhouse where we camped for the night. Do you remember, Bane?
I do.
We need to get there. We're going to need a rest.
Shall try to guide us through. Look at my outside map. Are we where we actually are, or are we like at Mount Graham?
No, you're at Mount Graham, sorry. That's where we left off there, so you're actually right
So I think
there.
that might be where the farmhouse is roughly.
Yeah, it was. It's within a. It's nighttime. You're weary, very weary, all of you.
Yes.
Normally you would be resting by now, or some time ago you would have made camp, but you can't afford that right now. You feel like you could get there by dawn.
Hobbits will not be able to ride hard. We must make haste.
Indeed, I will take one with me. Up you go, Hampson.
Yeah. I will take one on Feargast.
That'll be Tolman.
Come, Master Tolman. Up you go.
I assume you still have Folko then, Agamando.
Yeah.
All right.
Throw him up on my saddle behind me. Or maybe in my lap even.
Yeah. Lead on, Bane. It's going to be a travel roll for you, Bane. And do you have maps?
I have my stone, so that can help me. But my little item,
And
my son's.
Find the path, my friend.
All right. Well, that's
All
gonna
right.
be my role unless other things happen.
yeah.
All right. Do I want to spend the hope I just got? It is what it is. All right. Might need to save that.
A
Aha!
success.
Didn't even need it.
You were able to make some haste and to cut some time, and you've arrived within an hour or two before dawn breaks. But as you get to this farmhouse, you notice that the sky should be lightening up, beginning to anyway, but it isn't. It's very, very, very dark. And you see Gandalf look up again. Well, we have arrived. Let us rest and recover. We have a long ride tomorrow. And I fear the battle over the fate of Eriador. All right.
The sky looks ill.
Sorry, say again?
The sky looks ill, Gandalf.
Yes. It does not feel natural. But this is no power that Rodgor would possess. I hope I am wrong.
Alrighty. This is where I have to look at the calendar to see when the assault was supposed to happen versus when we're here.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to be a memory I don't have either. I'm just looking up resting.
Probably might.
Where the hell is that?
Maybe not.
All right. I do not know what happened to Saul. I wonder if her medicine made her pass out. Sorry, I'm not laughing at her fate. Sorry.
I know we had some sort of handout to tell us when everyone was.
It's under the journey journey map. It's under the briefcase icon. So
Yeah, there we go.
Journey
That's
to
right.
Mount Graham is
so
the
yeah,
best
projected-
guess, but I don't.
It's in the journal for the Mount Graham, and then it says projected. So Fellowship. So 2 days to Orc Troll Camp. Yeah. Elven Company. Dwarven Company.
This was to get to the minor camps where they were, but the actual battle you couldn't predict.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's deal with. All right. Rest. All right. So Sol isn't here, but she's always very generous with the Miravor. And there are 6 uses left. Oh, that's for a short rest. It won't be relevant for this.
Long rests are nice.
Long rest will heal all of your endurance. Unless you're wounded, but that's only going to be Volko who is wounded.
Did we roll to see how long his wound lasts?
Yes,
That's
he's
the
got
thing.
6 days. It was 7 days, but it's after Gandalf did some healing on him, it's down to 6. All right, you can click long rest on your a prolonged rest. Sorry, that's D&D terms. Long rest, prolonged rest on your character sheets.
Sorry, it still has the word long in it.
Ah, it does, doesn't it?
And okay, so
And
do that
then
and
yeah,
record. Let's see, what is it?
hold on, hope points.
I do have hope points.
Yeah, before we roll that, because did I reset them?
Well, it says 6 out of 6, so I think so.
Yes. Okay. So, let me just do a health report, a moral health report.
I'm just gonna. Mine's not great.
Look at your shadow points. Oh my god.
Yeah. The spirit the first time was not nice to me. The second time I spit in its face.
Yes.
Got a few shadow points.
Yes, you did. You're in second place. it's a goal here to collect shadow points. I don't know what's going on with Hogar and Lasklin and Narniel. Their hope points is not up to that, but especially Lasklin and Narniel, but
Damn.
they're the fellowship points is not to be spent on NPCs anyway. You're breaking up, Jacob. Are you there at all?
Am I? Oh,
Yeah, you're there.
Okay. All right. So you guys can decide who amongst you gets you have 6 points to distribute, and it's only between the 4 of you. So even though Gandalf is down, it is not He's not subject to those.
Let's be
Being
to be
beating
quite
myself
fair.
to 3.
Yeah. Each of you. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with taking hope. Just know that it's because it's my shadow is 8. Unless I get over 8, I'm just gonna be consistently miserable. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
but you can use
but-
it for.
I need
Yeah.
you to
Yeah.
Unicorn, did you not gain a hope point when you left the mountain? When I gave everyone a hope
I
point?
did. I had been at 1 the whole
Had
time.
you? Oh, I thought you were at 2.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, I was wrong. Right.
So how many
It's almost without
did you?
Well, playing as Wanderer here, I would want to take
You
at
wanna
least
do 3,
one of
2,
those
and 1?
points.
Yeah. You want to do 3, 2, and 1, something like that.
What, one for
I
Wanderer?
don't get any. And I don't get any. Yeah. Wanderer get 1, and then
It's
Agamando
all
get
up to
2,
4.
and then 3 for Bane. Yeah, let's do that.
Something like that.
Then we do a rest.
Yeah, prolonged
Jesus.
rest it is, yes.
So I
how it
just
has to message.
do I just hit
17
recover?
times.
That's all for the
Yes, that's
for
right.
the long rest. Okay.
Yeah, you just... And I'm just making sure it worked. It did. Oh, it worked on everything. Cool.
I feel like we looked this up last time, but I can't remember. I think if I hit 10, it auto turns into a shadow scar. Or no, if I hit 10, do I have a bout of madness or something? I can't remember.
If
There's a-
your shadow points are greater than, maybe equal to and greater than your maximum hope, then you go mad.
So I think maybe I should solidify that to a shadow scar.
Uh,
But I think I was just waiting to see if I got another shadow point in the dark mountain that was Mount Graham.
no, that was wise. Let's see. Let me get to the where the hell is it? It's not there. Ah. Nope. Ah, yes, here it is. Hardened will is what this is called. Yeah, as long as your shadow points don't match your maximum hope, which they don't, you can remove all of your current shadow and replace it with a single shadow scar. And that's permanent, and you can choose as a fellowship undertaking during Yule to remove. I haven't had to do that yet.
There's some sort of elf thing, I forget, but yeah. Shadow scar and 0. There we go.
Alright, Herobrand, are you going to do the same, or are you going to leave it at 7 points?
Plus 7. I don't have. My maximum is 14, right? So I'm.
Oh, you got a ways to go then.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty good, I think. So
Yeah.
maybe I can heal it without having to take a shadow scar. Sorry.
You
Is that? Is there?
go.
there's a way to
It's
do
when
that, right?
we go to a fellowship phase,
Yeah.
depending upon your success, and
There's also certain virtues that help with that. I think,
yeah,
but
but you know, like thwarting the enemy removes shadow because you feel confident that you've. So that.
Yes.
that-
So I think I don't have to make that choice yet, right?
No, you don't.
I
It's
mean,
we do that when
yeah.
we get to fellowship phase.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm still only halfway there. So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
just predicted
Got a
for
little
2 from you.
time to
would be
before I have to decide if I'm going to take a shadow scar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just figured with 2 left for me, and
Yeah,
battle.
you're pretty low. If I were down to like 1 or 2, yeah, I might decide
Yeah.
that. But I might not have to do it. So if I don't have to do it, then I might not
Does-
do it.
Does undead and wraiths really hit you in the shadow points?
Yeah, some scary stuff could happen in the battle that you go mad in the middle of the battle.
which could be cool. But
It would be interesting as a role-playing standpoint, but yes. All right. I just need to make a bio, guys, really quickly, and then we can carry
Sure.
on. 1 second. Won't be long.
On an off note, a unicorn for my Lone Lands one. I decided to make more images because I'm image crazy. So let me post this in the Lone Lands chat if you want to look at it.
Yeah, I'm going over. I was doing a bunch of prep for Alien the other day, and I made so many images.
Yeah, I've been going crazy with Midjourney because there's so many throughout the 2 or 3 books I'm using. All the NPCs, just all the NPCs.
Yeah.
I wanted to use some of the sketch ones from the One Ring, but I was like, I don't know if it's worth it. So I just kind of made them all uniform and image and making them in images. But let's see. Since it was your character, I want you to slightly approve.
Hot.
All right.
I'm assuming you can guess who that is in them Ladras.
It's a good one.
Tried to get as close as I could to your other picture.
Wow. Stunning. All right. Morning comes, but the sun does not come with it. Although it is not pitch black, the sky is so overcast with dark clouds. Well, to be honest, you did sleep through the day partly because you were resting. I forgot, you only got here a couple hours before dawn.
I feel much better now.
Got some sleeping on some good stone helped.
And also a night's rest here, as before. Recover another point of hope. All of you.
Wonderful.
And I gotta get through.
I'm now a glass half full kind of person.
You know what? I never did prolonged rest for everyone else. Alright. And lastly, just Gandalf. Alright.
How fare the little ones?
Agamando, you see that Focal still sleeps uneasily. Well, better here in this farmhouse, but his injury will take some time. But
I
the
will
other
feel better
two...
for their safety.
Go ahead, carry on.
I will feel better for their safety when we are away from these lands. Yearn for the halls of Rivendell.
Indeed.
Yeah, I believe we said
Agreed.
yes. Didn't I believe before we said we'd meet up with the host at Corvin, because that was a short, and then with the rest of the hosts we'd make our way back.
Let us hope they are as successful in their endeavors as we were.
Indeed. Right.
Gandalf is just looking out.
It's like, Thrandir, what is your counsel?
What we don't know is the movement of the enemy. Our companions, their endeavors, they mayhaps have been successful, but there is a larger battle, as we saw leaving the Mount Graham as we approached.
Would I be able, due to my knowledge on orcs, and also my tactics in some regard, know what they would do if the main camp was assaulted, or I could theorize in terms of if the other camps would empty to support it?
You would
'Cause that
definitely
might-
have a good chance of that, including, I mean, your orc knowledge is going to greatly benefit you in this. It's going to be a battle roll, but you're going to get a... Let's go with a +2 on that. But before you roll it, so
Mhm.
what are you looking at exactly to gain knowledge of? So we
I
had...
want to basically know if these orc camps would empty, because I know we already kind of scouted this one, but if we're going to take the same way back, we have to go back towards this orc camp, or we're going to have to choose to go, if we want to go straight to Corvin, we can go straight through everything.
I see your thing. Okay.
But I wanted to kind of know what would be the safer path to take, and if this is almost empty, it'd be almost better to go around and then kind of hit Corvin from the other side. But
I've moved these tokens. This was actually the dwarf assault here.
yeah,
The elven assault was there. And you guys
Yes.
took out that one.
yeah. And then basically what we did was we kind of skirted this camp,
Yes.
and I think Wanderer and Agamandil scouted it, so if we were to assault it in the future, it'd be easier. But
Yes, and Wanderer got a lot of bonuses on that one. You... Part of the thought was that the smaller camps would... God, it's been so long, guys, but I believe it would draw out, or it was attempting to draw out the orcs from the main camp. Was that right?
well,
The
we
ones
were
with
going to
circles?
assault and take care. We were going to take care of. I believe we took care of these ones before
Yes.
they could become the full camps,
Yes.
because they were building them to that. And then, basically, once everyone met up, they were supposed to assault the center camp to try and draw the attention away from Mount Graham.
They were planning to do that whilst you guys were in Mount Graham.
Yeah,
Yes,
and that was
so.
all two forces together assaulting the main camp.
Right.
So in theory, I kind of want to know if maybe
I gotcha.
in my mind, these two would come to support. But-
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Because
Okay, you can make
yeah.
your roll, and I can.
Do you want assistance with that? Because I have battle, and I know quite a bit about battles,
Aye.
and the gods seem to favor me with that. The valor.
Yes. And you said we waited till nighttime, so
Not quite nighttime. I would have.
Oh.
If you guys arrived at the farmhouse a few hours before dawn, and slept for a full night or a full rest. Sorry. So what would it be like? Mid-afternoon.
something like that. So with, I'm assuming, the belt and my orc lore, is that 3?
Well, and then do you want an assistance?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it if you wish to give it.
Yeah, and then so then I spend a hope. Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, Jacob, on that.
And then I get an extra one for him being my fellowship focus, I believe. So that's another 1 if it
Do
lets
that.
me.
Right?
Yeah.
So that would give me 4.
Because I'm favored in it or whatever.
Yeah. So I put that at 0, and then I put 4 in advance. So I'll make sure I'm rolling the correct amount of dice here. Alright. Yeah, because I think otherwise it won't. Yeah, cool. Alright. That full formula is useful. Alright. Alright, I think I'm good to roll now. Boop-a-doop-boop. So many dice.
So dice,
little
but you are successful. Hold on, I'm just making a note on the map. Judging by your knowledge of orcs and your knowledge of battle, and with the contribution of Herobrand's knowledge of battle, and this unnatural cloud cover, you feel like the main camp that you went around the outskirts is probably drawn out. Now, whether it had gone straight towards the main camp assault or whether it had started venturing, more south, you don't know for sure. But with the dwarven assault marching east, that's something that they would have noticed when they left, and that would have drawn them closer. So what I'm saying is the dwarves going this way, and whatever came out of here, they would have seen that potentially, and maybe bypass towards this direction. So you feel like you can make not quite a straight line, because that takes you right across the main camp assault, but you can go south a bit and over.
Yeah. So with that knowledge, I shall.
It is still a risk, but you feel like the time advantage is worth it, perhaps.
I believe we could save some time, and with the way our plans have set out, and my knowledge on our enemy, I believe, and I'll kind of lay out the map, we can go this way. And I don't know what line you have drawn, Andy, but start drawing the line.
I just roughly did straight
Yeah.
south here,
Yeah.
and then across to Corvin.
And meet up with our allies either on the way to Corvin or to Corvin itself.
You feel like somewhere in this area you would run across at least scouts, if nothing else.
So I shall. So I believe that is the way we shall go. I believe the camp that we came across would be mostly empty, for they would probably try to support the other one.
I believe you are right. That sounds like a good route to me.
I'm just preparing journey here. All right, let's see.
By the way, I just didn't know if it was established. Did we take those 12 treasure points and split them amongst ourselves? Best we
You
could.
started talking about it, but Uncle Mondale said, "We've got to go. There's no time for this." The hobbits had taken a couple of treasure points worth.
And we were all down on endurance as
Yeah,
well.
I didn't really carry anything.
So your horses have a bunch of treasure on them from what you found in that secret hoard. So it is left there in the throne room, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. You're there. Okay. All right. We begin a journey phase, which starts with a travel roll from Bane.
Wonderful. That sunstone. And I believe that's it. So put that down. Well, that's unfortunate, but so many ones and twos.
Okay.
Well, I can use the ways of the wild to get a magical success. Explore, hunting, or travel.
Yeah, but there's only one person who does the journey roll. That's the guide.
If I recall,
If you were the guide, then you could use it on the. That's travel. Yeah.
Plus, I believe me failing travel doesn't mean it gets worse. It just means it takes, I think, longer.
Okay.
You guys get.
Yeah, it's just when it occurs.
I always forget how that goes because I can cover more than one roll, kind of thing. Whew.
Oh.
Yeah, you do have that. I think you chose because I think you're in our. Where's the fellowship thing?
She's in Hunter with me.
Yeah. Are you able to put yourself in two
And then,
roles?
Wanderers also scouts.
Yeah, so explore and hunting she can do.
Yes. Okay. All right. So these weren't done in advance, so you have to wing it, but it's all right.
All right, I believe in your impromptu.
Yes.
Is it time to scrounge for some food?
uh, all right. It's for the lookouts, which is Narniel and Gandalf. I'm gonna roll for Narniel because Gandalf will roll like 120 dice.
Come on, Narniel. I believe in you. Roll better than your arrows.
Ah, yes. She as your journey in as a lookout, about to head up in an area that would expose you. And saw some orcs in the distance, far, far in the distance, maybe the remnants of leaving a camp. I managed to avoid that. And oh, damn it. Sorry, I forgot it's been a while since we've done a journey. And so she avoided all mishap for you guys.
Wonderful.
But I'm on the wrong table. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just calculating the fatigue just from the journey. All right. And all right, that's taking you guys a day. Okay. Travel roll.
1. All right. That is better.
Definitely. Automatic success. So 3 hexes. Sorry. And you have begun your journey to the southeast. And scouts, make a roll, which is Wanderer and Laskalin. If you roll from the Fellowship sheet, it does it for you. If you hover over your name, there's a pair of dice at the bottom. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Or you make an explore roll from your character sheet, whichever you feel like. It's just, it's up to you.
So if I do explore, if I spend a hope, I get a magical success. So I'm going to do that.
It's a good thing you did.
Yeah, no joke.
Okay. Despite the ground being really rocky and torn up, and just a wasteland, a badlands, you've managed to discover a shortcut. And on top of that, hold on, you have. Gotta get back to that map. Ran into a dwarven scout party.
Oh, that'll work.
Dwarves from the Arid Luin. By the look of them. Now you've seen them, they haven't seen you. So you notice this. And also just going to roll for Hogar. Just to see if, because he's a scout with you. Jesus Christ, Hogar.
He really was looking for his kinfolk.
But still, with a magical success, that surpasses that. And because what you've done is so supernatural. It's like I don't know how you found that, Wanderer. But look, dwarves.
Well, you spend enough time out here, you learn to spot the easy routes.
No doubt that's partly what's kept you alive. Let's tell the others.
Right away.
I'll let you, instead of me letting an NPC.
Okay. So I join the others. We have found an easy route to take and also spotted some dwarves there. So come this way.
I meet with our kinfolk. Kind of move along.
How do you approach?
I mean, I don't want to sneak up on them and give them a heart attack. Try to
No.
hail them in some manner.
It's probably best to let the dwarves go instead of ranger or somebody.
Yeah. Sure, we have a way of, I'll shine our armor or shield. I mean, I don't have a shield, but, sort of, at their direction.
They turn to you at first with a jump, just always on their guard, considering what's been going on, but quickly relax. And you see them put a hand over their eyes to kind of peer closer to see you. And you see them talk amongst each other kind of excitedly. And as you get closer, you recognize that it is Ginar, who you parted ways with him and Einar and Vidar some time ago because they had gone to the Arid Luin to drum up support, and you had heard perhaps that they were coming back with them. And there are a few other dwarves with him who you don't recognize, but you do recognize just by their dress that they're most likely from the Arid Luin. By Aula's beard, Bane.
Ginar, and I kind of give him a clasp.
We had not heard of your return. We had no idea if you were successful or not. How do you fare?
Well, and Bane will hold up the head that he has.
His eyes get really big. That is what's left of Radgul, I take it.
I, on request of King Dane, shall be brought to him.
Yes. Well, that is a good sign.
How fared the assaults and the battle if it goes on?
Much has transpired. Our own assault on the camp, they were no match for us. We suffered no losses, some wounded, but we survived.
Any prisoners found?
Nah. We hear through scouts that Glorfindel and the elves were also successful. I believe they lost one.
A shame.
But the remaining forces are moving on the plain, the larger camps. They've begun to gather north of the main camp and are digging themselves in.
Our camp assault also went well. There's nothing left of it.
Any losses?
No, none. And prisoners. Did we? I honestly forget. Did we free prisoners? I think we did.
Oh yeah, the hobbits.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm saying from the
From the camp.
The first
Oh,
It's been too long. Oh my god, I can't remember.
was that the family that
Oh
we
yes,
sent
there
down
was
south?
there was humans.
say something, yeah.
Yeah, those farmers.
And we sent them to Corvin, I think.
Yes, you
directions.
did. There was 5 or 6 of them actually.
And we freed some prisoners, men, there to meet at Corvin. But we also scouted the west camp, and it was fairly fortified, but nothing some dwarven siege work can't fix. Like, Dane laughs.
Well, they seem to have left their camp, or at least most of them. And an army gathers in the north, between Mount Graham and the main camp.
Aye.
And their numbers are large, as we've been told. And he looks down when he says that. However, all is not so grim. A dwarven host approaches from advanced scouts from the southeast. From Erebor. And hold on a second, I gotta check something really quick. And their numbers are not what we thought. Dane had promised 100 dwarves. And he has a sad look on his face. And then quickly it changes to one that's really bright. He sent 250.
Ben gives a hearty. That's Dane for you.
Any Dalemen?
Oh yeah. You were promised 30. He sent 100. And they're led by Bane. And the dwarven host, led by Thorin Stonehelm himself, seems he wants revenge.
Ah, good.
They'll be here
We
in
shall
2
get-
days. We have heard no word from the woodland realm. But it has been days since we've had any contact with any scouts, so we know not what develops.
Plus, to be fair, they never really promised any. They were just like, anyone that wanted to go.
Yes.
500 warriors is a goodly sum.
Plus the forces that already accompany us.
Yeah, you have nearly 500.
Well,
But come. But we can escort you to a main camp, or do you have other plans?
no. You can... that is a good plan to meet up with the others. Gather our strength and see if we still wish to assault the man camp head on or some other plan, idea. Some other course of action.
Right. So you meet these guys. This is at the end of a day. Well, you've journeyed a day and a half to get to this far. But it is nightfall, so we'll make camp here. We have a day's march in the morning. So, with enough of you, and the area where you're at here has kind of been cleared of enemies. They wouldn't dare come this way. There's a dwarven host, an elven host in the area, and the orcs just seem to be gathering north. So the night goes without event, and the next day I won't make you make a travel roll because you're with company, but
Is
you
the,
go a
is the
days.
ice clearer down south than up north? Like, is it gathering where they roughly say the camp is?
I'm sorry, what did you ask?
The sky, because you said the skies are they cloudy even here too, or are they mainly focused around like the camp?
So I should have updated you on that. As you kept journeying south, the skies got brighter. Mostly, up here they were very dark. And as you get into here, they're a little bit more gray. But what you have noticed each day is that it's spreading. It's coming further south. Slowly, but it is. But right now, it's not so dark. And you can even see stars in the night. A welcome sight. And so, from here, it's going to lead you this way. You're now in the middle of the month. And you get to a camp that has been, whilst you've been away, it has been organized. You can tell that they have been at this for several days, if not, by the time it took you to journey up there, if not a week. And true to form, dwarf encampments are not mixed with elf encampments, but there is peace. Tents have been erected. There has been a mess area for the feeding of the people. And you see just by its design what would be an infirmary to tend to the wounded. And a command post. Ginar points out these things to you. We take your little one there. We'll see to some healing. Feel free to make camp wherever you please. The enemy amasses. All right. We're at the halfway point, guys. I wonder if you want to take a 5 to 10 minute break now.
Sure.
All right. Before we go any farther, we need to make fatigue. See if you got any fatigue. So all of you need to make a travel roll
Travel roll.
and number of successes.
All of us have to make it?
Each one.
So
Okay.
So on Gamandil, you have 1 point of fatigue added to whatever you've already got.
I'm not so good at this.
Wanderer, same for you. 1 point of fatigue.
Oh, I got success. Look at me.
Failure. That means 2 points for you there, Herobrand.
Failure for me.
And 1 point for Bane.
If I was already at
2
negative
points of
one,
fatigue, you said? Sorry.
2 points for Herobrand, yes. You can't be at a negative number.
due to the horse.
Oh, the
Due to the
horse.
horse.
Oh, there was 3 points total, but the horse reduced it by 1, so you're rolling to get rid of the last 2.
Yeah, I think last session we discussed it. I got something that put me at -1. Like you're like, okay, take away fatigue. I'm like, I'm already at 0.
because it was
Oh.
for the next. It was for the next journey. You
Oh,
had
okay.
-1.
Okay, then, so... Well, you're at 0 then. 0 fatigue.
All right.
Let me deal with the... It's not going to be terribly relevant, but I do want to take care of Hogar because he's kind of like an NPC plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been with
Recurring
us the whole-
NPC.
Yeah, he's got a recurring role there.
He's been with us the
Featured
whole
player.
time.
There you go.
Movies, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what's he get? Oh my god, Arabret. Oh, I've got it on private. Let me change
He's like
the pri-
Faramir. He's been in 2 movies. Or Theoden.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my god, he's fatigued. He already had 2 points of fatigue, so now he's got 4. Alright, we were just discussing while you guys were away that in a place of refuge and safety, you reduce your fatigue by 1 for every prolonged rest. So for as long as you're here in camp, each night that you're here, or the morning of, each morning that comes from here on out, you lose 1 point of fatigue. But
bang.
as you know, just the way it is in the books, things don't happen rapidly. I mean, the amount of time that happens before an actual battle might start could be days or weeks even. So I'm not really worried about it. Hogar will get rid of his 4 points, I'm sure, before any sort of intensity starts.
Hopefully. It's all right. Bane's like in camp. He's just like, oh, why are you guys so tired? Nothing's changed. It's like when I set out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right.
Party nature of dwarves.
So let's see. Let me get rid of this. All right. Oops. Change.
So does that mean? Well, I guess we're waiting more than 2 days. The other forces are in theory going to reach us.
Yes. So, I thought I might narrate a bit instead of. Obviously, I don't want to go through and role play each day.
Mhm.
So, and get into discussion of how mass combat rules might work here for us. So, this would be from a series of conversations in command post tent. So you've got Gandalf and Glorfindel. The dwarven host arrives. Suddenly the camp gets much bigger and louder.
The dwarven side.
Yes, on the dwarven side. The men of Dale, I mean, they're not a small number themselves. And so you've got Human Bane from Dale. Although it's spelled
Forgot.
differently, I believe. No, it's spelled the same. B-A-I-N.
Yeah. Believe it or not, completely forgot about that while making my character.
Yeah. It's all right. And Thornstone Helm. Belar is leading the Eredluine dwarves as a part of it, and
With Onar, I guess, was another guy.
yes,
He led the
definitely,
other.
yes, together with those two. And so a series of discussions. So what is befalling? You've got, if you guys are all on, yeah, you're all on the area door map. Yes. From, as you know anyway, from this area, you've got Mormog and his army of dwarves. Dwarves? Trolls!
Dwarves.
Jesus.
I
Yeah,
was about to say, wait, hold on, what happened here?
they've turned
Slave.
forces. They've betrayed their brethren. No. I have no idea how that slipped out of my mouth, but anyway. No, I wasn't giving something away. There's not some evil dwarves about to attack you or betray you from within. Mormog and his army of trolls, which at one point, a year ago anyway, you had seen their number to be, well, at least at that meeting there were 50. But you can easily gather that there are more.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Yeah,
going to be
well.
massing in the hundreds, because trolls don't really, gain much like that. They don't really operate in that way.
Also, not a lot of food over there.
No. But you would surmise that a company of trolls led by Mormog heads west.
Yeah.
But from scouts, in fact, anybody who has fatigue left, you can reduce all of it by now. There's no way. I mean, days are going to pass here before this becomes a thing.
Okay, I got 4 points.
Oh, yeah, easily 4 days will go.
Sweet.
Well, at the time that you met the Dwarven Scout Party, they said that the Dwarven host was expected to be here in 2 days. So they have been, and you've been making your plans for the past couple days since they've arrived. Scouting forces have witnessed more orcs have poured out of Mount Graham. Likely the ones that had turned back to figure out what had happened to basically you guys being in Mount Graham. And an actual Maiar being in the belly of Mount Graham and triggering the hunt. The eye had its eye on Mount Graham. But scouts had witnessed. So the three main camps have indeed all emptied those camps and are amassed on a battlefield. And numbers not so easily determined. But they outnumber you. Not by a large number, but it is significant. But scouts witnessed a host of orcs and wolves heading east from that camp, likely to meet up and head off Mormog.
Now, if I recall, Mormog was trading with Radgul, but they were not equally aligned, correct?
It was a loose alliance. You know that Mormog, this goes back, God, this is the beginnings of Book 1. You know that Mormog was a general from Mordor.
Yes.
And you knew that he would have carried with him plans from the Eye. So, if anything, he would be in charge. Now, you also know that Radgul was a bit of a rebel. I can't remember where you learned that, but Mount Gundabad governs this area for the shadows, and you know that Radgul was kind of resistant to that rule.
He
No
was gonna
word
be
has
very-
come of any forces from Gundabad coming this way, or if they are, the mountains have impeded their journey quite a bit.
Plus, we have I believe Dane promised Raven Scouts and Dwarf Scouts to keep an eye on that.
Oh yes,
So we know if they're coming.
yeah, that's going back quite a few sessions. I'd almost forgotten that. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
And
And Vrock's forces that were in Forenost have been hindered. So,
oh yeah,
well,
you don't really anticipate anything from the west. Or at least there's nothing that has indicated anything like that.
yeah.
So,
Was-
the Orvan host had split. A small section of them had headed east. To team up with Mormog and the trolls. And that's going to be... And by wolves, we mean warg, mounted orcs. So you've got a cavalry, and not all of them. Most of them are on foot. Dane's forces so that includes also includes Dogan and Logan and Geely, who journeyed with you for a time. Also includes 50 cavalry. And I've done it, whether you guys agree with it or not, on big mountain goats.
Wonderful. Except Thorin, who's on a giant boar.
Yes. Definitely. So 50 of them are cavalry, 200 are foot soldiers. All the men of Dale are...
Are they all bowmen? Because I know he promised 30 bowmen to us, or did he actually send more than just bowmen now?
He sent more than bowmen, so you're basically half and half, 50 bowmen, 50 foot soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
But all men of Dale are trained in the bow.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Might actually get a chance to use your bow, Harebrain.
I usually use it for one shot and then charge.
After you get pissed off.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. Let's see. Of the elven host that set out, they can... So you have 75 of them. That also includes Dorhir, Meneloth from the Woodland Realm, and Arnulf and Hathis of Beorn.
They said they lost one, though?
One of them went back. Of
Oh.
the Beornians went back to report to Beorn.
No. In the battle,
They lost. Sorry, they lost one in battle. Yes, sorry. An elf. And of the original Dwarven host, so with Ginar, Einar, and Vidar, you had the three woodmen, Baranald, Theodemir, and Willikar, along with Gilriath of the Dunedain, Eodoras of Rivendell, and Rudigar of the Shire. So, getting into how this is going to happen, let me make available to you a journal. So if you go under the journal tab, under rules and resources, I've just made a journal called Epic Battles visible to you. And most of this is tables and such, which won't mean anything to you right now. It's just a few things to help you. Things you're going to have to consult along this. So I don't want to get bogged down on a big I don't know, board game sort of thing. There is role playing that comes into it. So there's a table I follow that will. There's a number of what we call assault waves that happen. And an assault wave can be anywhere from an hour to a day. It's kind of a vague timeline. And there's a threat level that I deal with, which is dependent upon the makeup of the enemy. And then you've got engagement mood, which is the first part of that journal. And that determines basically how you're approaching. And that's how you divide up your forces. And each one can have their own engagement mood. And then the endurance loss per failed test, that's a game mechanic that comes from this, but it's that comes in later, which different things that you do, you make a number of what's called an endurance test, which is basically a battle roll. And failing that is how much endurance that you might lose personally from your player characters, depending on how they are involved in each group. It isn't something that is rolled for the forces. That's losses for that is determined a different way. The next one is command objectives, and this is where role playing can come into play as to what, and it could take some time depending on what you decide to do, but it's tactics. You know, are you going to divide up the forces and send some around like on a left flank while bowmen stand up on a hill and onslaught, and then you've got a vanguard that rushes forward? These are the sort of things that you guys must determine, and how you divide things up. And you've got, you know, Mormog and his forces coming from the east with a small orc host. How do you split things up? But the command objectives could be multiple. You could have more than just one. What's going on? Because those come into play based upon a roll that happens afterwards. And excuse me. Then you've got the third one is areas of engagement. So there's 3 columns here. You've got battlefield positions and siege positions, and then endurance test target number. The target number is based upon the danger of each of those. So if you're at the vanguard at the bottom on battlefield positions, that's the most dangerous, obviously, because you're at the heart of it all. We won't be using the siege positions because there's no castle siege happening. So it's only the battlefield positions. So a rear guard would be like bowmen, for example, or you could keep some in reserve from all of it. And then your own intervention. So I've written some stuff down there. You could decide your actions could affect things. So maybe you lead, if you're whatever company you're going with, maybe you lead them, I don't know, some heroic song perhaps, or a persuasion, you know, or an inspiration sort of thing beforehand, and that will affect the result of, and I've given you the assaults table. And this is what you could affect with your inspiration or a song or whatever, or maybe that depends on what you decide to do with it. And this table determines if your command objectives were successful or not. And then it also determines on the initial chart that I've got as to who's going to win. You can move it one step towards the shadow, or one step or two towards the shadow, or one step or two towards the free peoples. If you roll a Gandalf there, you have the option of what's called let me get to it, I'm on the wrong page. A counter strike, where you could choose in the same sort of assault wave to go in for the kill, as it were. And it's a prolonged sort of skill test. Maybe you're sneaking up as an assault, or maybe you detect an ambush, and you could really turn the tides. However, doing so, if you fail, the results can be great and catastrophic. So it's something that could bring about a great benefit, or if it goes bad, it could hurt you pretty badly. And I don't mean you necessarily as the player, but your forces. So that's the general overview. It's not too complicated once you get into it, actually. And I need to put stuff out on a map. I'm going to use a battle map, although it's by no means to scale. And I thought I would use a number of tokens. They're going to represent multiple units. It's not going to be like one token. I'm not going to put 1,000 tokens out on the page, which is ridiculous.
Right. You don't want to break Foundry?
This represents 50 archers or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then the table, so the initial table that I've got, I should have given you that just so you know where I'm at, but it's all right. There's 7 steps in it. On one end, the shadow has prevailed and they win the war. On the other end, the free peoples win it. And you're going to start this 2 steps away from the shadow winning.
Okay.
Because you're outnumbered. So depending on your tactics and the engagement mood, because that's your risk there, that helps determine how risky you are with it. And then command objectives also would help with that as well. What are you trying to do? Gain ground or split forces or whatever. Let me get to there we go. Or gaining, higher ground or whatever. So I think to go further from this, I should get a map out. We'll see how this goes.
Do you go through this? Do you go through the whole process between each step on that 7 scale?
That part. Let me see. I think I've got this wrong, right or wrong here.
The assault table.
For the assault table?
Change the relative strength of numbers by 1 step in favor of the free peoples.
Yes, that's
each
that's.
time you do it, you move up.
Yes, of course. So that scale of 7, that's what that is, 1 step. Or it goes bad and it goes in favor of the shadow forces.
Where do I see this?
In the journal tab, the book.
The epic.
And then down to rules and resources, and then it says epic battles.
Okay.
And then off to the side.
Okay. Summary player. Where epic battles? Wait a second. Rules and resources.
Yeah.
And then player notes. Is that?
No, epic battles.
Yeah.
It's under callings.
It's in the rules and resources folder, if that.
Okay.
If you know
there. I see. Okay.
There
Epic
you go.
battles. Okay. Got it. Okay.
You pick our engagement mood, or do we decide that?
You decide that for each. So if you've got 300 people in your company, and you choose 100 of them are going to be bowmen, for example. They're going to be in. Maybe they're going to be a little bit more
Like wary and aloof
tactical,
from
and then the ones who are going forward are going to be more aggressive. So when we make, there's endurance rolls, so this will determine how many points are lost. So but that endurance loss is only for players. So that's
Okay.
your engagement mood within each group. So every failed endurance test means that's how many endurance points you lose. So you can look at that. Wrath kindled to madness. So if you're just going in like a mad person, you're going to lose 6 endurance points every time you lose an endurance test. But as far as, I'm not sure if I answered your question perfectly there, Unicorn, and this is still new to me as well, obviously, so we'll take it easy on this, but we will, let me get to the right point. Yes, so there's only one roll made on the assault table for all forces going on, but the result of that and your engagement mode and your command objectives determines what happens to each little force division that you've got. But the one roll there is going to decide what's going on with the battle itself, whether you move closer towards the Free Peoples or closer to the Shadow winning the war. But I need to get a map out so we can start, because this is still vague to discuss right now, if you can see actual things.
In terms of the role playing in the War Council, though, Bane would say, if they've emptied their camps, it might be better to destroy at least maybe the west one, and then crash into them from the west. So at least the camp is destroyed and they cannot reuse it without great effort. Plus, I would share, we have found strategic areas to assault, which might make quick work of it with little defenders.
Let us see how they are arrayed.
Well, they're arrayed in front of in back here. So
Well, yeah, I understand. Yes, but I want to see how they look on a battle map.
Well, my point is it'd be off the battle map because they'd be up here, unless the battle map strays from all three fortresses.
83 miles.
Yeah. So who are we gonna send? Who are we gonna take out of our troops to go do that? So
That's what I was. I mean, we have enough dwarves that we could probably send a small dwarven detach. I mean,
well, we're
it's-
outnumbered as it is, though, right?
not here, but I'm saying, I mean, if we're already preparing and they're preparing, I know it, but
Alright.
I get what you're saying if they attack in the middle, but it seems like there's a lot of preparation versus we could just send a small force. I mean, even it sounds like they sparsely populated the place. Like they emptied all of Isengard there.
Well, yeah, we're outnumbered, so I don't know. I'd rather
Plus, if
destroy
we
the force, sort of, and
Well,
then it
plus-
doesn't matter what's in their camps. We
Well,
can
plus-
take them at leisure.
Plus, we see what they would, if they'd even contradict us. If they try to assault us, obviously, it'd be easy enough. But
How far are we from that village of
Corvin?
that we've what?
Corvin,
Yeah,
I mean,
have them
roughly here.
send 20 people to go destroy it, right? No.
I think their village is mainly old people,
Hmm.
with a handful of well, I guess Sherville kind of bolstered their numbers a little bit, but 40 miles away,
Mm.
at least by measurement tool.
Let's go.
Well, we can do. I
Well, plus it'd be, I thought, better to, because if we do this and then they sandwich us, that's kind of annoying. Versus if we can assault from the west and push them into the peninsula that Mormog's already coming out of. Versus having potentially going to the center camp and getting sandwiched between. I know they don't
well,
overlap,
that's
but
fine.
these
I
two
mean,
and Mount Graham.
so what is your state your idea again?
To assault the west camp that we already scouted and know the weaknesses to, and that has now like no orcs in it. Get rid of it so that it's out of the picture, no one can use it. You know, orcs from the north, from Gundabad or Mount Graham, if they come, won't be able to do anything with it.
Well, I guess that's fine. I mean,
And then push, because the
will
orcs are
that
already at
be
the main
will
camp.
that be on the battle map? I mean, will that be, or that be just
No,
sort
I
of
don't
a
think so, because it's
narrated kind of thing that we went there and did it, or what?
well, that's why I was asking Andy, because I think the main assault is happening at this main assault camp.
Yeah,
But if we manage to kind of
just north of it.
push
actually,
them,
yeah.
but if we manage to push them towards the peninsula, which would be the great goal, because Mormog's coming from this way in theory. He might have already reached this camp, who knows? But in theory, we can push him this way, because then because his forces will be crushed against the river, because they can't cross the Horwell. I know they've been trying, but they can't cross the Horwell, as far as I'm aware. So they'll be pushed into the river or pushed back into the Broadcleave. So, or the mountain passes, which, you know, not a large force can get through at a time easily.
The
size of these.
So we have some days to prep, right?
Yes, you do. So you can be thinking.
I would like to. Who can craft some horns? Can someone do that?
You've got a lot of dwarves.
Yeah, I would like maybe to have. So we could have a bunch of people with horns at different things, at different areas, maybe. So it'll sound at strategic times or tactical times, whatever. It'll sound like more troops are coming, you know, to kind of like morale-wise to scare the orcs.
Yeah, you can easily do that.
Anyone think that's a stupid idea or what?
No. It'd also signify if we've actually achieved objectives or not. So.
Yeah, and actually, right, we could actually use. I mean, we could create some system where it helps us on the battlefield. No, we need help over here, or you know, you do a different call and it does something. You know, it means something. But just in general, if they hear horns all over the place, all of a sudden, especially if like we're engaged and all of a sudden, you know, from the side they hear a ton of horns go off, they're like, oh crap, there's more people coming and gonna attack us, you know. Because anything we can get to like fool them or break their morale would probably help.
Sorry, I'm just getting tokens out, guys. So.
Yeah, like maybe you know, your mummified head of Radcool on the top of you know, sort of like Celebrimbor on the you know, put that on at the head of a pike, you know. Not sure how Tolkien-esque that is, but
well, you know, I mean,
more Conan-ish, you know.
Well, I mean, it's easy enough to do. Plus, you know, on top of that,
I'm just saying.
Carve some dwarven runes in its head. You know,
I'm just saying. I'm not sure
put
that.
Put a coin purse in its mouth. Continue the Goblin Wars.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
I mean, the orcs have very fond memories of the Goblin Wars, where they were driven out of every dwarven stronghold in the mountains, almost.
Have we seen? I forget. Like on any of the goblin or the hobbit, I mean the goblins or the orcs or whatever, do they have the sign of like the eye and stuff? Do they have like standards? Do they have?
They had standards, but some of them were just like local tribes of orcs. Some of them were Moria. Some of them were like, because remember those guys that tried to ambush us in the mountains from the Goblin Town versus the ones that were. I think Mormog's the only one officially from Mordor. So
Yeah, that's all you found so far. Yes, you're right. All right.
Because another thought would be like, too, like to have guys marching with false standards, and then reveal the true standard when you get close or something. You know, sort of like Aragorn with the black ships. You know, and they think, oh, we're getting reinforcements, and all of a sudden it,
Yeah.
you know, the tree, you know, the white tree, you know, is revealed. You know. So, like, have like some of the Dale men or something walk under have a standard, and then drop the stand, you know, and then flip the standard, and it becomes, you know, something different. So again, morale shake their morale a bit.
Mhm.
I'm just spitballing things.
I don't know how much RP we'll get before the battle, but I'm just gonna also state that we should probably send the hobbits back to the Shire.
Not so well, yeah. I mean,
I don't
the
think they're gonna
wounded,
be
the hey, maybe they want to fight.
maybe.
Archery, throw stones. They're good at that.
Okay, I'm doing it 1 token per 25.
Okay.
Logan is going to represent all the dwarves from Erebor.
Okay.
Let's see, we got 250 of those.
Pretty sure that's Dogan. Or no, Logan. You're correct. Dogan's the other one. Logan.
Do we have cavalry? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a little bit. I haven't got them out yet.
Okay.
Uh,
Those damn trolls.
Well, also depending on when we. Well, I mean, I guess it's the giant dark cloud, which is going to help them. But in theory, during the day, they're going to be not as good.
Yeah.
Have to be more careful.
Vidar will represent dwarves from Pe'er Luin. They don't have too many of them. There's 65, so it's not going to quite represent. I'm going to put 3 tokens. Thing is, for some of the enemy forces, they're not quite an equal division of like 25. But if there's a fraction of 25, I just put another token out for them. I'm not going to include like tokens for like the 3 woodmen, or it's just going to get messy, I think. I have it written down who they're with. And this is not going to be the most accurate. I mean, this isn't even an accurate scale map. It's just to give us some representation as to who is where. So it's mostly going to be a kind of halfway theater of the mind, halfway map sort of thing. I don't have. Oh yeah, I don't have a token for. Don't have a token for goats. I didn't think to get any.
Goats? Oh, I don't know. Can you put like just? Do you have horses or something?
Yeah, I do have horses.
Maybe just put, if they're mounted on if they're the cavalry, just put them on horses. Maybe just put horses out there.
Somewhere I have horses. I don't remember what to do with them. Oh dear Lord, I don't want to spend tons of time looking for them. I guess I don't. I thought I did. I'll put. Let's see. Not that.
And the individual tokens there are the leaders, right?
Yes. So we've got
Okay.
Mormog up here,
Okay.
and this is the head of the orcs who you haven't met yet.
Well, the new head of the.
He would have been Rodgul's lieutenant who was leading the forces out. Damn it. What can I use for horses? I'll tell you what, I'll just use... don't even have that. Damn it.
Aren't the horses and equipment?
They are, but they don't drag out as tokens.
I have another idea, guy, which I don't know what you think. Maybe I can call a little bird to get some bird help. Like maybe we could get their friends. They can't really attack, but again, they could distract the orcs or something. You know, just kind of flutter around and get in their face a little bit, and I could get my little friend to maybe enlist a bunch of other birds. Thoughts?
I don't see why not. I mean, it
Worth
is
a
little
try?
bit- Yeah.
Yeah, worth a try, in my opinion.
You know, these pesky birds, what are they doing to us? You know? Those are the Dale men?
Yep. And I'm going to use Bard to represent Bane.
Oh, Bane's a dwarf. No, I'm just joking.
How dare you use a human token to represent me?
Today identifies as a man of Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell you what, I can use... I'll use fellowship tokens as cavalry.
Okay.
Works.
Let's see, we need 2 of them for goats. I'll make them smaller in a second. And I've got all, that's all the enemy. I gotta get elves.
Yep.
I forgot the
Hello,
elves.
Glorfindel.
I do have a Glorfindel token.
Ooh. I think Golden Boy and me should take on the trolls.
And
There's
let's see.
Glorfindel. There's.
Because I
I'd be
have
surprised-
that ability that's with the Might 2 people.
I'd be
I'm gonna
surprised
use-
if El were here and Elladan weren't here.
Eladin and Elro here.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
might
they
be
would.
somewhere else.
They would have been. Again, having a gap in play.
Mhm.
I should have taken better notes. When I run book 3, you can bet I will be taking much more detailed notes. Alright. Gwendor is going to represent the Rivendell Elves. I think that's...
Yeah, unless we have more surprise forces, that's about it, I think.
Yes. Okay, so this is just tokens out on the table. So let me arrange the enemy into a very loose layout. Again, this isn't going to be a map of like, I'm going to move up here onto this ridge, or I'm going to take these forces up here onto like this ridge right here to gain a tactical advantage. It's just a place to put tokens, but you can expect that there are ridges, there are places if you want to use things as tactical, so that's going to be under the command objectives that you might state.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we've only got like 45 minutes left in the session, but we can get started. All right, so you guys can continue to plan. I'm just gonna
Okay.
figure.
Yeah.
I want to this
Go ahead.
before you guys continue. This divide roughly here. So this is actually a much greater area because this is Mormog's forces coming far from the east.
Okay.
So I'm not going to put anybody in this area of the enemy.
Okay.
Anyway, carry on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Do we want the dwarves, since they're all crafters, to create some? I mean, I'm thinking like the Battle of Agincourt or something, where you sort of have these stakes in front of you, and we can maybe let the orcs kind of be the attacking force while we hold in the center, perhaps, and then we try to crush the flanks. You know what I mean? Give us a little bit of a protection so our force can hold some of them off while we take out one of the sides or something like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think probably we shouldn't be the total attackers, because they outnumber us. If we could get some type of defensive advantage by, like I said, having the dwarves, or a good portion of them maybe, stand behind some stakes driven into the ground and stuff, where the orcs have to get through that stuff before they get to it, or the bowmen of Dale especially behind some type of protection. You know what I mean? Because that's sort of how the British, the English fended off the French. They were outnumbered, but they kind of held the center while they decimated them with arrows and stuff. I mean, we have time to. Each dwarf could carry a couple big sticks that they could drive into the ground in front of them. Any thoughts?
I mean, I have no problem with the spikes. I mean, because what do you call it? I mean,
I
don't
just
know.
think it would give us a little bit of extra protection for or something to help make up for our as opposed to no protection, no extra protection. Or have like all the men of Dale be behind it if you want the dwarves to be like most of the dwarves to be a strike force.
Mhm.
But or have half the dwarves and all the men of Dale behind it or something, and then have our cavalry kind of off somewhere, and they can strike the flank once they're engaged. Let them not know that we have cavalry, maybe, and have that cavalry hit them in the side once that they've committed their forces. A lot of times in battles that seems to work. Seems to be bad if all of a sudden you're engaging, you didn't know this other force was coming and hit you, and especially if they were riding in, horns a blazing, and strike them in the side.
Okay, I'm done with
Is
tokens.
this thing?
That's an Etten. You've encountered one when you first raided Mormog's down in the Broadcleave. There was one that you tricked into coming at you. You guys ambushed it.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Like rocks.
yes, it's kind of made of rock. There's actually 15 of them. So that's one token that doesn't represent 25.
Oh, we have 25 trolls up there.
So you've got each of these hill trolls in the back, the biggest ones.
Yeah.
There's 20 in each token.
40 hill trolls, Jesus.
And the stone troll in the front, there's 25 of those. So he has gathered a few more than what you saw in the meeting. You only saw about 50 odd. And he's nearly doubled the number.
It's a lot of trolls.
Yeah, it is. All right.
possible pertinent note. Gandalf's still here.
All right, we definitely need defense.
Yeah, Gandalf is still here. He's in the like. Well, good luck.
Yeah,
I'm needed elsewhere.
got pressing business down south.
I have business in the east. The Rohirrim call.
Yeah, Glorfindel, you need to come with me too, right?
Well, in terms of, I was like, maybe he can part the clouds for a second to give us some advantage. Maybe for a second.
Yeah.
Um,
So, what did you think about that?
yeah. I mean, I'm generally fine with that. I think. I mean, plus the dwarves can kind of hold their own. As like, I mean, obviously not to. Pull
Yeah, but I think it would be good for them to hold their own. They're behind, like I said, some bungee sticks and stuff driven into the ground, make it a little harder for the orcs have to get through that stuff to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try and go for the trolls
Okay.
because I have that ability, and then probably Glorfindel should. Yeah, you kill a Balrog, you should be able to take out a troll, maybe.
I guess. Well, also the question is that these are at the moment, unless we wait, two separate forces.
Yes, they are.
They are okay.
So in theory, I mean, it depends on how long the battle goes and how we plan to do it, because Mormont's still coming to the other forces.
Okay,
so these are
so then let's crush these orcs first.
Yeah.
Or you
Hopefully.
could send a team
to
east.
delay Mormog.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, to delay him a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Harry him.
Yeah.
Perhaps our cavalry could harry him.
Yeah. Trolls aren't really
then-
good at cavalry.
Well, you have 50, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying in terms of, they're not going to chase you or fire arrows at you. I guess they got boulders, but
They could. Oh, they have warg riders, huh? Is that what they got
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
The orcs
So
do.
what I've done is
I guess Mormog's had some too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
They sent runners
so
to him.
when I've put a wolf next to an orc token, so that's a cavalry unit of 25. Done the
Okay.
same thing here with the dwarves and the fellowship token down at the
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. Those
down
two
here. So
are-
they're
those two
together.
are-
So
okay.
these are two cavalry units.
They're mounted. Okay, they're mounted. Okay.
Not that we necessarily need it, but I feel like it might be pertinent to ask. The elves sent no cavalry.
No.
Nimladris? Okay.
And we haven't heard from Mirkwood, right?
No.
Does Glorfindel know anything about them? Has he heard any word? No.
He has not. And
You're
I
assuming
mean,
just
they've been out on operation, so that although they have, as you learned from the Dwarven Scout Party, they have scouts traveling here and there to pass news. But he said it'd been a few days since they'd heard back from the scouts further east.
Okay.
So mayhaps there is more news coming, but not yet.
Okay. I mean, here I could send my bird, try to do the bird thing against Mormog's people again to just like distract them, slow them down a little bit. They're in their face, bother them, dropping bird poop on their head, and just kind of like in their face. So it's just like get out of here, I don't know if that would slow them, in hopes of slowing them down a little bit. Thoughts on that? Maybe that's the use of the birds.
I mean, if it slows them down, I guess trolls do not like birds because they turn to stone and the birds sit on them. But I don't. Yeah, I mean, it would distract.
Well, I
them.
mean, it's something. I don't know. And then maybe, you could send the cavalry there to set up. They are dwarves. They could dismount and create, again, some type of, maybe something to slow them down. Like, I don't know. Again, throw up some type of crap in the way that they have to deal with. I don't know.
Well, I guess it's not. I was gonna say it's the. What is it? It's the and moors that he's coming from, roughly.
Yeah.
It's not like a mountain's pass, but they could create they could not try to cause some sort of landslide or avalanche from the mountains.
Yeah, something, or I don't know.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
again,
close they are to the
gather
mountain.
up a bunch of brush and set fire so they have to go around it, or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Honestly, what I was hoping, granted there's still this camp here, so that might hinder some things. I was hoping that we could maybe push him to enter the bog, because then he's got to go through a bog to get to us. And if you
But how
combat
do
him
we
in the
do
bog,
that?
well, that's what I'm saying, and this is miles, so I didn't know what is feasible to direct.
I'm just
them.
thinking it'd be best if we piecemeal this. We don't fight them all at once, So somehow, if he's further away, somehow slow him down.
Well, that's what I was saying, to
Yeah.
push him into the bog.
But I don't know how we push him in the bog if he outnumbers us.
Well, I'm saying direct him to only be able to enter the bog to get through. But that's miles, and I don't know how well they can deviate him. So.
Sorry, I'm laughing. In England, the word bog is a slang term for a toilet.
Oh,
So I'm just imagining.
I'd be happy in the bog.
I'm going to give you a swirly. School bullies. Oh, yeah. Looking at the time, I think rather than start the battle, I think it's best to just finish the tactics, and then we'll actually start the battle proper in the next session.
Yeah, that's probably right, because it'll take a
Sounds good.
while.
But we've got about a half an hour, so let's figure out. You got a lot of different ideas, so let's figure out where they are, and let's actually move some tokens into place. And I'll have to move them for you, but just tell me what you guys want to do and how you want to divide them up, as if you were commanders and somehow superseded Glorfindels and Banes, human Banes, and Thornstone. Stonehelm's authority.
They take our suggestions.
All right, Glorfindel, I know you've been alive for like millennia, but we're calling the shots here.
Years and fought in 1,000 battles, but I think.
And you actually fought the Witch King, but I'm in charge.
Yeah, you sit back for this one. We got it.
Yeah. Take a seat. All right. Let's first figure out maybe what forces you want to go where and in what division, and then we put where you guys go individually. And you could pair up into certain forces as well, but.
So should we put our? Oh, I guess
I've put them out there. So, Saul and Unicorn, I haven't heard much from you in the way of tactics or what thoughts you might have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any really specific thoughts. Kind of.
Do you know where you kind of want to go in the battle?
Yeah, I mean, he'd be more leading a defensive team. Whoever we want to kind of. I'm looking at the type of attack. It's the endurance lost 4 kind of makes the most sense of getting in there and being the diversion of their main forces. What was our plan for the elves? How many are they? Mostly archers, or do we have some good spear elves? We can form a wall.
The elves can be either way. You can either do spear or bow, however you want to divide them. You've got 75. Although I would prefer that you guys, for ease of you, that per token represents 25. So all 25 in that token are bowmen, or all 25 are spears, rather than a half and half.
So maybe 50 in a nice strong defensive line and 25 bowmen.
So who do we want to send against the Mormog's people?
Well, you said you wanted some of the cavalry, right?
Well, I was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was. Do we know? How far away is Mormog? I mean, if we engage with the other force, is he an hour away? Is he half a day away? because that makes a difference. You know what I mean?
It does indeed. Let me think. I haven't really thought that far.
Yeah, because if he's, I mean, you can, you can.
You
think
could
on
choose
it.
to wait as well, or unless the orc forces charge.
Yeah, I'm just.
But they said they were
If we
digging
want
in.
to, if we want to defeat, like, let's say the orcs first, or try to defeat them first, are we going to be in the middle of a battle when he gets there, or could we theoretically beat them and turn to face him? You know what I mean? If he's like half a day away, maybe we can finish them, or or be finished by them one way or the other. But
Yeah.
we'll sort of finish that end of the battle and then turn to face. Or if he's only like, oh no, he's about an hour away, well then we're going to be stuck fighting both of them really, unless we stop him somehow. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So remember each assault wave. So think of it like combat rounds, although it just represents a much broader period of time, is anywhere from an hour to a day. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to put Mormog's forces a day away from the point that you say that you stop playing and start moving into a force. Because the shadow forces are gathering. They too have got a camp and are dividing up their forces how they see fit. They've already set off a small company to... So that's the first movement actually on this battle, is they've sent a small company to connect with Mormog and his forces.
Okay.
So so they're going to be a day away from the point that you guys start.
Okay. And you said the battle rounds are how long? An hour?
An hour to a day. It's very broad.
Okay.
It's for the point of what we do. I mean, I see why you're asking. So what is that going to mean? Is it...
Yeah,
Are
right.
you gonna-
One
are you
round
gonna-
and then they're there, or
Are you
12 rounds. and then
Yeah.
they're there.
Yeah, it's meant to be a very vague sort of thing, and I hadn't, when I was going through the rules, I hadn't really considered that possibility and how it's going to change your tactic. You
You
can
wanna just make a
imagine
ruling,
if there's
say
if
it's an hour or something, or 2 hours or something, and then we can.
yeah, if you were to send a force, let's go this way. If you were to send a force east, like split your forces, that's obviously going to stop Mormog from advancing any further, and that little battle would take place there. The rest of your forces could stay here and engage the orcs. Or if you're trying to make a much more tactical thing, and like if they finish off Mormog's forces, whatever, then they become a force that comes in from the east to the west. Also, considering if the Woodland Realm respond,
Right.
if the Woodmen respond, if you also sent Radagast on a mission as well,
Yeah.
then you've got reserve forces coming with the remainder of the force that took care of Mormog that come in from the east, and that's another tactic.
Right.
But but what you're thinking is, you could just choose to not engage Mormog at all and start in on these orcs, and then at some point Mormog is going to show up there with you. Part of this is, I can't really predict it, because part of it is going to depend upon your command objectives that you come up with. And I think overall, to help with this before the next session, for those of you who care to anyway, it's a PDF document I have of the epic battles, or it's called mythic battles. I will put it in the Discord resources, and it's only like 17 pages, and it will kind of maybe make you feel a little bit more better about it. And if you see something I didn't, I'd rather it not be clumsy.
Yeah.
And because I like to do that and the fellowship phase all in the next session and wrap up.
Okay.
So,
do you guys want to send a force to?
that's the main question. Do you
engage
split?
him and slow, even if it's just like a slowly retreating force, just to like harry him, slow him down. You're not gonna, because it's not gonna be a force big enough to beat him, probably, you know. But
Yeah.
but maybe stop him from coming to the battle at least, and it almost might be a sacrificial force. Who knows? That your job is to stop him and hold your ground or something, or just like a slow retreat. Yeah, fire arrows, back up 10 paces. Fire arrows, back up 10 paces. That kind of thing, just to keep him from getting to the battle till we've sort of decided the battle with the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
like the elves would be good for that. I don't know, because they could
it
all be
would.
like archers and.
My
That's
only worry
I was
is
thinking the same
these.
thing as you were saying that. Oh, go ahead, Jacob.
No, I said my only worry is these guys here with that because they are cavalry and they will
Well, you
be.
could send our cavalry with it too to engage those cavalry because they're equal then at that point.
Yeah, they're equal then, but I'm just saying that's so then we'd be committing our cavalry and we wouldn't have any cavalry for the main battle because that's the only cavalry we have. So I'm just
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pick or choose, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could send like all the elves and maybe 25 Dale archers with them or something. So,
And the
their
entire
job is just to
cavalry,
kind of shoot and back up, shoot and back up, shoot and back up, and just keep them busy. Keep
including
them
the cavalry,
busy till what?
including the cavalry.
Maybe just so that their cavalry can't engage our archers, because cavalry against the archers will probably be bad news for the archers.
And are we
After.
entrusting this to an NPC commander, or which one of us, or more than one of us, is going to that?
What were you going to say, Unicorn?
Thinking with the elfish archers, like just needling away at them from a distance and hiding and retreating.
Oh, and the Eastern Mormog's forces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is kind of what Hairbrand started getting into.
So I guess
the same idea.
So then the only question remains. Then you guys seem to favor that. Is do you send any cavalry or any other foot soldiers?
Right.
So
I
if
think,
you got any input.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to chew on it. I mean, I think the elf going in, the what they were discussing sounds good, but I'm just trying to chew on all the different ideas.
How many goat cavalry are there?
We have
50.
Dwarf warriors.
50 again, and they have 50 on Mormog's side. 50 war riders.
I don't know if you would send any cavalry.
Actually, let me clarify this. I forgot to tell you this because they don't have equal divisions of 25, so there's actually only 35 of their cavalry. Which means you could send one company of cavalry, 25 against their 35. You're outnumbered, but not by much.
Yeah, let's. My suggestion, we can vote it on or whatever, but my suggestion would be one to keep their cavalry occupied.
I'll move it here for now.
Yeah, and then the rest be like archers harrying them, and maybe my birds can help with that. And then hey, little bird, get your friends and slow them down.
Yeah, I'm fine with the cavalry. My main worry was them. If you send foot soldiers without cavalry, they get run down because.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll just get run down. They won't be able to outrun the warg riders. Do you want to send one of our Dale men? How many they got there? Yeah, you want to send one of the Dale archers with them, or do you want to keep all the Dale archers here?
Well.
So we've got what, 75 and 25 cavalry, right?
Yeah.
Remember, with the Dalemen, there's 50 bowmen and 50 foot soldiers.
Right. I was just saying send 25 more archers to make it 100 over there.
Of course.
Against their, what do they got? 25, that's 50. They got a ton of trolls over there.
It's a spooky moment.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of to separate these. I put that little wispy cloud over this dude.
Mm-hmm.
They have statuses, right? Is there not one that's like a bow and arrow,
Oh,
or like a hobble has an arrow in it somewhere?
it'd just be small. No, I don't see one.
Because I think our force on the west could probably take that orc force.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Are
they're
those,
orcs.
are those goblins or goblin archers, or what is
Goblin
that?
archers.
Okay.
Those little ones in the back there.
Yep, that's the only ranged weapon in their forces.
And the rest are orcs, or are they just orc? Oh, they're black orcs.
They are Uruks, black Uruks.
Okay.
Do they have normal?
I mean, I think
orcs
that
in between?
is an easier force ultimately. I mean, they're orcs, where this other thing, I mean, 50 trolls is a lot of trolls.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus. So, I think our force has a better chance against the orcs, even if we have diminished it a little bit, some.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we send another, send archers, or send
Well, do you wanna-
25 of the Dale archers, it might still be, they might not be the deciding factor on our side.
Do you want, how many bowmen do you want? Sorry, how many elven
Yeah, that looks good.
elves
That
do you
looks
want to be bowmen versus foot soldiers? Or spear?
I think we were 25 bow and 50 spear.
All right.
Do you want to
or
be
do you want
that
them
many
all to be-
spear, or do you want to just like pepper them with arrows and run? Pepper and run.
Well, I'm thinking with like 60 trolls coming at us, like a nice chunk of elvish spearmen might be good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I would even want to engage them at close range.
I feel like we may have to.
Well, I don't know. Are we faster than the trolls? I mean, you want to take command of that side?
Well, who wants to go? I guess is the question. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
Bane I think is going to
Yeah.
stick with
Any Amanda want to go there, or
Yeah, I think Bane's pretty committed to this side, but
Yeah,
you'll go with the elves?
yeah, we'll go
Okay.
kind of face the trolls.
Okay. So then
Yeah,
you
I was
can
about to
figure
say,
out how you want to divvy it up with those archers and non-archers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll stay on this side with the Dalemen then that are left, and my object is going to be try and kill a commander,
okay, you don't want
probably,
to.
because
Okay.
that'll help their morale. And plus, he's probably a 2 or something. And again, I can use my special ability with that if I can try and focus
about we
on
make-
him.
How about we make some dwarven twirly whirlies now?
Wanderer, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I could go with the elves too.
Okay.
Being pretty familiar with the elves.
Plus, you're decent at arch. You're better than us at archery, so I can't throw my axe that far. So,
That too.
I know that if they want to help, that's up to them. I'm going to suggest the hobbits go back to the Shire. But that's just
Well, yeah, those three. I mean, one is, well, let's see. He's got 2 more days before he's better. By the time this battle starts, he'll probably be completely better. But they kind of want to stay with him, and Tolman is not really a fighter. There's only one of them that is a bounder, that's the one you found chained up, and that, well,
Hold our horses.
yeah. So yeah, they're gonna want to not be involved in this battle.
might be prudent to ask, since I feel like he might hinder certain ones better than others. Is Gandalf going to counteract Mormog, or is he going to stay with us?
I think I didn't drink his token out there, but let's do that now.
I guess that's more his decision. He is thousands of years old. That's where he think he would be better served.
I think he's going to choose to go with the elves.
Okay.
Because you have a few hundred dwarves there.
Yeah.
200, 300. You have 300 dwarves.
Make the sun shine on those trolls.
Yeah.
And 75 Dalemen. Yeah.
That's my suggestion, Gandalf. Make the sun shine on those trolls.
Yeah.
I hear that won't be good for them.
I am a wizard. I know these things.
Yeah. My pardons.
All right. I think we have our divisions here. And so I think I'll send you guys these rules, and we can discuss it if we need to in the chat. If my summary wasn't accurate enough, it's still new to me as well. And if you come up with different tactics, we can still modify it. You're not locked here.
Okay.
But
Good.
If Bane can find someone, he's going to offload the dead body we have. He would like to find their ancestor, someone related to them, or know where to send it. We did take the body of the surveyor out. I know.
Oh yes, of course. I forgot.
And
that.
or the tools that I found marked with clan emblems.
Oh yes,
That's
of
no
course. Yeah. Well, that will be something that will pick up in Fellowship phase. All right. Let me advance the calendar. So 4 days have gone past. This month is almost over.
We still have so much time before Yule. Summer, fall.
Yeah, you do, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to play out for book 3. But since this is I'm going to basically see what happens in your campaign, Jacob, because we're putting this in the same quote-unquote cinematic universe, so
Oh, yeah.
after this, the events, book 3 could actually happen sometime later.
Since I don't know if we're going to run into him, you want to see my version of Thorin Stonehelm?
I'm sure it'd be better than mine, because AI art did not exist when I made all these.
Here's
Not too far off,
Try to-
but definitely
try to
good.
make him kind of look like Bane.
Yeah. Ah, he's good.
I also
like it.
I went with a more book version of Dane, but
Yeah,
he's
no,
actually
it's-
older in the movie.
I have to go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna get experience.
Oh, sure. At least it's easy in this one.
Yes.
Oh,
1 second.
no clue if we're gonna run into him. I also made Hogar. Since he's traveling with us. But
Yeah. He's got that look on his face that I would have expected. Why does it not count Wanderer? No, it does. Doesn't count Unicorn as part of the.
because he's locked out, probably.
Oh, yeah. I shut down my computer already. That's interesting.
I'll just add it manually for you.
Okay, thank you.
Did that pop up in the chat? Because I don't even see it.
I haven't done it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm looking
okay.
at my list. Okay. So if you note what you've got already, make sure that's doing it right. Hey. And also gave the director of photography some points.
He deserves some experience.
But I'll do it manually for Agamondil. Skill points 17 and adventure points. Put you at 31. There's gonna be a lot
Does
of
mine-
advancing in this fellowship phase.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Does my belt get its blessing revealed? Out of curiosity.
Sorry?
Does my belt get its blessing revealed Because it still only has the history of it. I didn't know if it all got revealed. the
Oh,
bonuses or
it's
not.
because that I wanted you to find it out through using it, and I just didn't make it, so I need to do that right now. So, all right,
I think I
Unicorn.
found out quite a bit about.
Yeah, let me go to it now.
I need like 80 points to do what I want to do though, so let's
80.
I
Well,
don't think I'll get it.
you're gonna
What
need
are you
book
aiming
3
for?
for that.
I know. All right,
What are you
I have to go.
aiming
I'll see y'all later.
Take it
All
easy.
right, see you. Here you go. On your war belt. There, you can see it now.
Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Oh, I can use it as a magical success too.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
This is the one thing that I was wrong about. All the weapons that give, or even rings or whatever, that give a bonus to a skill, it's a magical success. It's in the rules. I just didn't take note of
Oh,
it.
so I could spend if I wanted to. Cool. But yes, that's cool.
So that's
I'm sure they're also all the dwarves are like, that's shiny.
yeah.
But
Okay. Well, let me stop the recording.